Good morning, commissioners. It was actually around 6 months that I sat in this exact same chair, and during my job interview, I was asked how I demonstrate our performance, and I based it around metric performance. And so I'm glad my administration partners actually put me up to this so I can share all the good work we've been doing on the communication side of stuff. So I wanted to start off just talking about the social media platforms that I have the opportunity to run. For me, I operate 5 different social media platforms. We have 2 on Facebook. One is the general, and then one is the public works account. We also have a LinkedIn, we also have a Twitter, and we also have a YouTube now as well. There's a couple of metrics. This is all based on stuff from June 6th when I first started. You'll see that we've increased all of our stuff on the Facebook page for the general account as well as the public works account. We've actually increased the likes, we've increased the page views as well as the content views, and this is in comparison to around this time last year as well. Beforehand, there was just a lot of job updates that were being posted, but they weren't getting a lot of traction. Now we posted actual stylized graphics, which I'll give you a little bit of examples in the future. We haven't been posting as frequently on LinkedIn, so you'll see we haven't been getting as much content views or page views, but we're starting to post a little bit more frequently. And on that platform, we're trying to base it more employee-centered, if you will. And on the Twitter, we're also trying to create a little bit more content that's a little bit more Twitter-based in comparison to Facebook. And we actually we repurposed, if you will, the HR YouTube account into the official Goodhue County. And so all these board meetings that you used to see, they're actually being recorded. And so I'll actually have to edit this myself and then post it back onto YouTube as well. So it's kind of a little bit of a matrix style, if you will. There are 2 Facebook accounts affiliated with the county that I don't have the opportunity to run. That's the sheriff's account, has 14,000 page likes. They have a lot of likes, as well as the HHS Facebook account. They have 2,900 page likes, not 29,000.
Who is taxed, Sheriff, who's tasked with your multiple people deal with your page? Or?
We have our communications captain and our community engagement coordinator.
Great.
And HHS, I believe, has a team of people. I believe they have, I think, 6-ish people that run their accounts, just because there's a lot of different feeds and information to get out there. So they coordinate that with each other. So I've worked with their community engagement person. I've met with them, and I've also worked with the HHS people pretty closely as well. So I just kind of wanted to run you through what actually happens on how the process that we take in order to post onto any of our social media pages. The first thing that we do is we actually create a content schedule. So I will go through and I will create a breakdown of what the month is going to look like for each account. So this is just an example of what it was actually going to look like for this upcoming month. And so on top, you can see the general account. On the bottom, you can see the public works account. So after I go through and I've selected and positioned how I want everything to be framed, I'll go through and actually create the content itself. These are just examples of graphics that we'll post. For example, you'll see that we have the county snowplow naming contest going on the public works account, which is actually going very well. This is an example of the county tales that we got going. It's one of our more engaging things that we got going on. We just share a historical piece about the county using in-house information actually that's provided by GIS. And so we link it back so people can explore the GeoHub as well. And you'll see a couple other examples there as well. After this all occurs, what I'll do is I will send out any department-specific graphics. So I know that there's one up there that was showing a breakdown of what the PACT Act was, and I'll send that to the Veteran Services Office, for example, and they'll provide any revisions or they'll approve it. And once I get all of those revisions and approvals done, I'll put it into a content breakdown, and then I will get that approved by Scott, and then we'll schedule everything. So once I get everything scheduled onto the respective platforms, I don't have to do anything for the upcoming month, and it will just post it automatically without me having to do anything. And it's quite a bit of help when you're managing multiple social media accounts. Oh, I should mention, we do social media monitoring, however, so just because I'm a little bit more hands-off when it comes to posting doesn't mean that it's going unnoticed. So every day, the first thing I do when I come into the office is I'm actually checking not only the pages that I monitor, but also the sheriff's as well as HHS, just to make sure there's nothing going on there. And if there is, for the accounts that I don't manage, I would notify them. We have had one instance where there was something on social media that wasn't so favorable to us, and that was actually pointed out to me by the sheriff. And so we actually got that account taken down, thankfully, but we do monitor constantly. For other content outside of social media, we do have written content. So we can do literature as much as we want. For example, on the left, you'll see a civil rights plan flyer that we produced for the Human Resources Department. And then on the right is actually the front page of the incoming newsletter, internal newsletter that we're going to be doing starting in January, called the County Connection. Other written content, I've also been able to help out with quite a bit of press releases and media stuff. So you'll see for a media release that we did back in August for the Sheriff's Office, as well on the right for just a general public hearing notice back when everything was happening with the vacancy. Cool. So I did want to just demonstrate some of the videography stuff that we've been working on. You'll see a difference in quality because we just invested in a new platform called Adobe Creative Cloud, which increases quality. Some of these were done with Canva, which we had been using previously. It allows for kind of more fast-paced production, but kind of at lower quality. So Stacy, could you mute me real quick? So this first video I'll show you is actually the intro to every board meeting that you see on YouTube. So there's a quick clip so people know what they're watching. The second one is actually an example of one of the recruitment videos we did. This one is for information technology. And the next couple ones that we're producing is actually for the Adult Detention Center. We actually scheduled times to film, I believe, next week. And we're also still working on the sheriff's recruitment video as well. We've had to film the narration with the sheriff. What's the only one? You can't. Oh gosh.
But I mean, we're okay with moving forward. We can-
Okay. Sorry, 1 second. We'll try that. Okay, we'll continue. I believe the next one, I won't share it all as a 6-minute video, but we'll actually be re-editing it. It is a breakdown of all the government operations that we do in the county. The purpose of this video is to inform the public, but it's also to be used for onboarding of employees so they get a better understanding of what people are doing around them, as well as for onboarding of future commissions as well. It's kind of a summary. Before you get into the depths of it all.
So like I mentioned, this video will actually be edited with the new program and new software that we have. You'll see an example of what that software can do here a bit. But the next two videos I wanted to show are a monthly spotlight that we're doing on individual employees. And so monthly from here on out, we'll be doing an employee spotlight video. This one was for the month of November, and I'll show you the one for one we just did for December, which will actually be posted tomorrow, so you can sneak peek at that one. So that's the first employee spotlight. And so all the videos that I showed you prior have been the old software. The new software I'll show you now. This one is only like a 2-minute video, and yet the file size is 1 gigabyte. It was filmed in 4K, so the new software can do quite a bit more and ups the quality significantly.
My name is Tom Hogan. I work for maintenance in Gooding County Public Works.
How long have you been with Gooding County?
20 years. I enjoy the plowing aspect of my job, the different variety of jobs we have here. I'm outside a lot. So I really enjoy it. It's getting out and being with the guys and really enjoy plowing snow. That's one of the reasons I'm here. We work as a great team together when it comes to plowing snow. We all get together. If someone breaks down, we jump in and help each other out. That's a must because we got to keep our roads clean for the public. Day to day, like this winter, today will be, like yesterday, we pre-treated for the roads for the public to keep them safe. Today we're hauling sand, keep everything filled up with for the next snow event. What the pre-treat is, it's beet juice, and we put it in a pickup sprayer or a water tanker, and we go out and we spray this on the roads, and it helps so that the snow doesn't bind to the roads. It all depends. Each day is different. You know, sometimes we get snow every day, and we go out and plow, and then the next day we done snow, we clean up and get ready to go for the next door. I knew I wanted to be outside. I wanted to do the snowfall aspect. The variety of work here is huge. I mean, we do everything from column repair to jetting to mastic to crack sealing. It's a variety of work here that we have. I just applied. I was here did it 20 years ago. I worked for Egg Partners prior and did medical and stuff there, and I just kind of want to do this type of work. So I thought this was pretty interesting. So I just applied and I got in. Oh, I'd say come here and it's very rewarding. You're always busy doing different varieties of work, and we have a lot of new guys here that came and they're pretty excited about doing different jobs here. It's like I said, it's a variety pack of work. You're always doing something different. Some days you do it, 3-4 days in a row, and the next time you'd be doing something different, which is really nice. And you're always outside. I love to hunt and fish. Yeah, it's one of the things that I really enjoy is being outdoors and spending time with my family, deer hunting, fishing, anything outdoors I really enjoy.
And then the next video I'll also show just a short bit about, but it's just a budget breakdown video that I was actually able to do with you. Yes, I am. It also was a demonstration of the new software. So these are just some of the videography programs we've worked on so far. There's some upcoming ones, obviously, have been employee spotlight videos. We've already created a snowplow and names announcement video. We just have to insert the names when they are selected. We're working on the recruitment videos for the Adult Detention Center as well as the Sheriff's Office, reanimating that government program, but then also creating walkthroughs to certain departments, so that way people can see how they get to each department on the website before even stepping foot into the building. And there's also been discussed about doing appraising and action videos, onboarding videos for HR, and then also doing day in the life of different people, and also just how road construction occurs. Next, I wanted to talk about one of the more out-facing platforms we have, which is the website. I believe yearly it receives, I think, 200,000 views. And so it's the place that gets the most traction for us. So we have done a front page cleanup already. We've moved around some of the tabs, we've moved some stuff that was a little bit redundant, made sure that it's a little bit more accessible to people. And I think I only received 1 or 2 calls that made it a little bit confusing, but outside of that, it doesn't seem like there's been much negative feedback on that. But I've also requested the departments do material reviews, so going through their own specific information on the website and seeing what needs to still be out there, what's outdated. A lot of stuff out there is outdated and needs to be removed or needs to be updated. And then giving that information back to me at some point so I can go through and I can make those changes on their behalf. We've also just worked on overall formatting, making sure things are running smoothly. It's making sure people can actually read the information that's available for them. Sometimes it can be convoluted and include acronyms that are just non-inclusive to the public. I've also been the one handling all the news flashes, or the majority of them, and then just doing general maintenance. And we did want to mention that we're planning on doing a refresh of the website itself, but we're hoping to do that after the next slide, which will be the rebranding. So we will be seeking, oh, this is an example of the front page refresh. So this is the old area where
Departments was all jumbled in there. Was kind of a rebrand when they did the website refresh and we came across this new color palette and new typeface. But the question is, where do we go from here? I know this question was explored back in 2018. However, it kind of fell flat. There's a large committee that came together, and I think there is maybe too many cooks in the kitchen, if you will. Just wanted to give you an example of the different branding that's going on outside of the county. The city of Red Wing has a fantastic logo. City of Wanamingo just updated their logo. Sherborne had a new county logo a couple of years ago, and many, many more updating their logo as well. But all these look very modern and updated in comparison to our seal. In the upcoming year, I'm going to be hoping to rebrand, but not remove the seal at all, because I do still think it has a place in our county, and I think it would be reserved more for official functions, so for the Board of Commissioners as well as for the Sheriff's Office. Sorry, not the Sheriff's Office, for the County Attorney's Office. But I do think the logo would be for the overall governmental operations part of it. And this would be an investment in the long-term success of the county, as well as for branding ourselves out there.
That's good that we don't lose it, because that pin I use on my, it would be an antique then.
You don't want to change.
I don't really want to be considered an antique.
I also wanted to touch base on emergency communications. I also am helping out as a public information officer. So I've been able to do quite a bit of trainings, both provided by FEMA as well as Homeland Security Emergency Management for Minnesota. They range from building partnerships with tribal government to just general public information officer awareness. I've also been able to help with a number of exercises already, including tabletops to FEMA supervised rep exercises. And then I've also been able to do quite a bit of extra work. So our PIO team, we actually met with HSEM to revise their prepared press releases that they provided us for reps. They were quite outdated and they had a lot of information that was misconstrued. And so at one point we had an incident where if we would have released the press release in a real life event, we would have actually been sending kids and school buses straight into a plume. So we revised those press releases to provide accurate public information. We've also added an emergency draft page for the website. That way, in case there is an emergency, we need to establish credible sources of information. We can do that within 2 minutes flat, and I can do that off my phone if need be, and we can update that as much as possible. And I've also been able to establish a working group with the City of Red Wing Public Schools, as well as the Minnesota State College Southeast, to kind of have a beneficial group. In case they need help, we'll provide information, access, and help to them as well. So there's only 3 minutes left, but do you have any questions for me?
I mean, I was gonna set this up, and I think you've done it the same way I would have done it.
Very well done, Greg.
It was
It's amazing.
interesting. Briggs and I and my wife and her team member for real estate were at a seated event in Cannon Falls. This guy knows a lot about this stuff, and it was really interesting to hear him talking with someone that understands it similarly, because they are just, it is amazing, and you're doing fantastic work, and it's something we've needed in the county, and other counties are jealous, as I talked to them about it, that we're having somebody that's managing that part of it, because it is communications. I think we've heard that today already in one of our other meetings about communication and how important it is, and you're doing a fantastic job. So keep it up.
Thank you.